Predictions time. Something predictions time. Anyway, Royal Rumble right here. You know it. We know it. We smell it in the air. Smell like sweat and time. And while we're here, I want to give a shout out. I'm just playing. So, Royal Rumble showing up. I was like, we got the 2 Rumbles and we got the championship matches in there. All right, let's go ahead and just talk about the women's match. I was like, you've already heard me on a couple other videos, probably talking about this or whatever. But I was like, I think we'll get a Jordan Grace. I think she'll be an Iron Woman, and I think she'll have a good amount. Her and Nia Jax, I feel like will be competing for a good amount of like the tossovers. Just because I was like, who else are you really going to pick at this moment? Unless you do some like weird, sneaky something of like somebody else like Liv being snivelly of getting people over, that kind of thing. I was like, they might try to give Raquel a little bit more because she hadn't really been. I was like, was she even in the last Rumble? I know she had her like medical stuff, so I was like, I'm trying to think, was she even in there or whatever? But anyway, besides all that, I've already told you who I think is going to basically be in the finals. The final 6, I think the final 4, I think it will be Flair. I think it will be Bianca. I think it will be Liv. And I was like, I had Jordan Grace in that spot. I was like, I think that she's going to last all the way to pretty much the end as well. I was like, Flair and Bianca, they're the 2 people that people got. That's the choice of Tiffany Stratton. That's the choice for Rhea Ripley. Liv is just because like she is always, like I said before, she's been close in all these Rumbles. That's probably the only one I know that would probably be that you might be able to swap out. Cause I was like, my pick is basically would be Liv. In that spot, I probably would have taken out either Liv or Jordan by that point. Jordan had proven her point that I was like, she's not gonna win. So I was like, they've proven the point that she could be a powerhouse. So I was like, Liv. I was like, you want to just keep it close so that I feel like the audience might think like, oh, we're gonna get Liv and Rhea again, and Io's there. I was like, that's the one I feel like. Cause I was like, I feel like Charlotte can win this Elimination Chamber. I don't even think she's been in the Elimination Chamber, but I was like, she can win that. I was like, Bianca has won the Elimination Chamber before. I was like, Liv got close last time, and I think also lost to Becky or whatever. So I was like, oh, any of those can win the Elimination Chamber. I was like, yeah, I know Io can too, but I was like, I think it's more important to basically get the chance to basically win the actual Rumble, get your guaranteed spot, point at the sign, I was like, do all the stuff. I was like, I think that'd be a bigger moment. I was like, Flair doesn't need to win the Rumble and or Bianca. They both won Rumbles right now to where it's like I don't think it's their time to try to win it again. I don't think it warrants any of that. I was like, Charlotte's just coming back. She's also in the position. She's almost like Brock Lesnar, where she need to come in and be like, I want a title shot, so what's the point? I was like, Bianca, I think if the story served it, like if they build up Rhea and Bianca like next year, that'd be a little different story. And Liv, you're just going to be runner-up. You're just going to be bridesmaid the whole time. I was like, now going into the tag team match. I was trying to debate on who should actually win this. I was thinking, oh, it should be more of the Machine Guns, just because I was like, they're the new act. I was like, you still want to have them be at their. I was like, I think they're over with the crowd. I was like, but I just don't think they get like they still don't get any pops or anything. But I would be like, oh, okay, give it to them, because when they had the championships, everybody did it did ramp up the tag division. But with that being said, DIY having them being crummy as they are, I was like, sort of has Los Gaza. I was like, got pretty deadly involved. I was like, Street Profits has always been involved, but now it's just a little bit more of an edge with them. That I was like, but those other 2 tag teams that wasn't doing anything got more involved once DIY sort of sneak shot Street Profits, sort of was able to weasel their way into the tag. You know what I'm saying? So them being heels, and I was like getting everybody else involved. The only problem is sort of once you do this, what happened to Motor Machine Guns? Because I was like, you can still have DIY come after Motor Machine Guns, they win. Do you have Motor Machine Guns come after DIY if they win? I mean, unless there's going to be some transfer portal type of thing. But I think DIY should get the win. I think they should go. I think they should stay. I should say they should stay with it. I was like, this is 2 out of 3 falls, so that means we're going to get all the way to the 3rd one. I was like, depending on how, I was like, they might get one. I hope they don't really do one of those like, oh, he just got that one out of nowhere. Who would have thought? I was like, but I'm like, it's not gonna be prolonged out because we got the 2 Rumbles either. But yeah, I'm gonna go with DIY here to basically retain. I was like, they could do shenanigans here to basically keep the championship. So I don't see why not they would. I was like, but would it shock me if Motor Machine Guns? No, because like I said, you sort of need them to sort of, they're like to keep that act going. You know what? Changed my mind. I was like, we're gonna go with Motor Machine Guns because I was like, I just sort of feel like when you got new acts coming in, you got to keep them hot, you got to keep them regulated. And while they could do cool stuff in the match, you still sort of have to give them a purpose. So I was like, this. It's not Jacob File 2 where it's like that dude just cool without whatever. I was like, no, you keep them engaged. I was like, you can still have DIY chase them. I was like, now DIY be mad at Pretty Deadly because I expect that Deadly will probably come with some interference. I was like, I wouldn't be shocked if Street Profits wouldn't decide who actually wins this in the end though, just because they got beat with both teams, but really with DIY. Yeah, change it. Motor Machine Guns. Put it down. Check it. And alright, then we got the ladder match. So, Cody Rhodes is going to win. Let's get that out the way. But I think it's important of how it's going to win to set up everything else. Now, I do think Sammy's going to come out. But I would not be surprised if Drew doesn't come out to act like how it was on Monday night, where Drew actually comes out in some form of KO and Drew sort of fighting Cody. And with that being said, I was like, the question is if Randy comes back here. I was like, because he come back here, and I was like, to me, I was like, he might not be, I was like, he may or may not be in the Rumble. Whereas, it's like, if he doesn't show up here and he shows up in the Rumble, that's going to look a little funky if Cody was getting his ass beat and whatnot. But I think Randy shows up. I think Sammy also shows up. So sort of like, I was like, even out, kind of like he got beef with Drew. So he's over here fighting with Drew. Randy and Kevin Owens are fighting or whatever. But I think at some point, I was like, maybe Randy and Drew get out the ring, and then it's just Sammy and KO. And I was like, he gonna haluva kick KO in the face because of the same thing from earlier, where it was like, to me, I was like, my thought is could be that Drew and KO are both in the corner, and Drew escapes again, and he hit KO, wanting to hit Drew once again. Which all you think about it, all those kicks were bad decisions because it's like you're going to go and kick Drew, but the dude you trying to save is behind him. It's not like, I was like, it's basically like how Goku had to hold Raditz while Piccolo was about to shoot him with the special beam cannon. Goku's going to die in the process. Whereas, like, if it was some front hold, he could let go of him and then jump back. Anime style. Where, like, here, Cody or Seth would have moved up the way for you to hit Drew. So it's actually bad logic in a way that sort of makes it seem like that's a little bit more suspicious, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, no, I think he'll end up kicking KO on accident. I don't think it's going to be some type of like him being like him choosing Cody. No, nothing like that. Also, it wouldn't also surprise me if he accidentally kicked Randy and KO or something like that. Like, I'm just saying, like, there's going to be so many things that I think that you could go into the Rumble with, because even if he didn't kick Seth again, that's going to be awkward for Seth to still be like, damn, dude, you just keep kicking all of us in the face. Like, what was you really trying to do? Whatever. But I was like, I think that's how it goes about. I think Sammy does an accidental kick to KO that makes Sammy just leave the ring, because he didn't want to come out. He wasn't really coming out here to help Cody. He wasn't out here to really help Kevin Owens. He really trying to take out Drew McIntyre once again, and he ended up kicking the other person in the face. Now, I was like, as far as like that ending the match, I don't think that's actually going to end the match. I think after all this like skirmish goes on with Randy and Drew and KO and stuff like that, I think KO will still be able to get up. I think he'll still be able to try to climb for the thing. And you know what? Maybe I was like, and maybe that's how it goes. Maybe Drew comes out here to fight Cody. Sammy comes out to fight Drew. And the whole process is that, hey, he's still trying to fight Drew and hits KO in the face instead. Drew just leaves. Sammy doesn't know what to do because he didn't want to do that to KO, but he also not helping Cody. He just sort of leaves. Kevin Owens does eventually sort of get up. He does start to get back up to the ladder. Same thing with Cody or whatnot. They're fighting. Randy comes out, give him an RKO. That way, Randy ain't got to do no bumps. He ain't got to do no actual fighting before the Rumble. Bam. I cleared it all up. I didn't even need the chat GPT or AI in this situation. I just needed the thing in my mind. And sometimes it's rerunning rampant. You heard how it goes. Anyway, Cody wins. I was like, I don't think it's any foolery of like pulling down one title. It is what it is. And in the men's Royal Rumble. Now, with this one, like I said, I think Jay comes out early on because I was like, I think you want to get the crowd pumped. And so late in this portion of the night that I was like, you let him come out with his entrance. I was like, he's number one once again. He's out here to prove something. But you let the crowd get pumped up with his yeeting. I was like, he's number one, and I think he becomes the Iron Man because I was like, he's trying to also prove a point after losing to Gunther that he's like, I can do this, I can do all these things. So he basically is trying to tackle all these things in his mind. I was like off his list to basically prove that he can hang with all these other wrestlers. I was like, I've already said that. I was like, I think it will come down to basically some form of Cena, Roman, CM Punk, and I was like, who's the last person? I think it actually might be Sammy, just because his whole thing is he's almost like Jay, where it's like, I am on your level, I can wrestle with you. So for him to last that long with that many people, I think he'll go ahead and I think he'll eliminate Drew out of this equation. I think that I was like, I can see CM Punk eliminating Seth Rollins or vice versa. That's why that spot is a little bit harder in that situation. I actually just don't really know who really wins. Like, because to me, I'm like, who really wins that sets up at WrestleMania, to be honest? I was like, the winner for this Rumble is not going to face Gunther. That's going to be whoever wins the Elimination Chamber. So it was like, cool. So it's Cena. I mean, all these people here have a point. I don't think Sammy is going to win and have his moment. And not the year for that. I was like, that's why I said it's like Roman, CM Punk, Drew and Seth. I'm putting them back in just talking out there. I'm like, who? I was like, cause they're going to face Cody. I'm like, you got Seth versus Cody, you got CM Punk versus Cody. We sort of seen how that's going to be. We got Roman versus Cody once again, and to be honest, I think it might be Roman. I think Roman gets it at the end, and I was like, just because I was like, whatever that favor that CM Punk has to have, to me, it has to have some type of consequence. Some type of something there. Like, don't get me wrong. I was like, to me, the Cena thing would just be a little bit too easy. I don't think he'll also go to face Gunther. I just don't think he'll get his title shot maybe here. But hey, they might just go ahead and just be like, nope, give it to John Cena. Either way, I think either if it's Cena or Roman, I think that Punk is going to try to make this a triple threat. I was like, to me, that would almost seem like it would be. Just because like he ain't never get his or whatever, and whether that be from Roman that he had a beef with, Roman who was Rock's cousin that cost him, John Cena who cost him the WrestleMania main event type stuff, that's what it has to be. So it has to be either, to me, Roman, or it has to be Cena. And Roman's the 2K cover, like we can't act like this stuff don't connect. So I'm gonna go with Roman here. I was like, anybody can win. And on one hand, I like some of the options, but also I don't. Because it's just kind of just like, But we got to see how this whole thing is fleshed out. That's like, I just think that we'll end up getting 3 again. And I think they're going to try to replicate last year of like, yeah, but y'all are never going to get y'all straight up match. Like, that's not how it's going to be. There's going to be some finagling in here, some weaving in. And I can just see that it's just like, CM Punk tries to enter himself into that third wheel. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, who you think going to win each of the Rumbles, the title matches? What you think is going to happen? Hey, let me know. Put them in the comments or whatever. Yeah, do all that stuff that you're supposed to do on YouTube if you like it and whatnot. Anyway, until then, we'll see how the Rumble goes. Peace. I'm out.